Upon the Horse and His Rider by John Bunyan, 1626 to 1688. There's one rides very sagely on the road, showing that he affects the gravest mode. Another rides tantivy, or full trot, to show much gravity he matters not. Lo, here comes one amain, he rides full speed, hedge, ditch, nor miry bog he doth not heed. One claws it uphill without stop or check, another down as if he'd break his neck. Now every horse has his special guider, then by his going may you know the rider. Now let us turn our horse into a man, his rider to a spirit if we can. Then let us, by the methods of the guider, tell every horse how he should know his rider. Some go as men direct in a right way, nor are they suffered to go astray, as with a bridle they are governed, and kept from paths which lead unto the dead. Now this good man has his especial guider. Then by his going let him know his rider. Some go as if they did not greatly care whether heaven or hell they should be heir. The rein, it seems, is laid upon their neck. They seem to go their way without a check. Now this man too has his especial guider, and by his going may he know his rider. Some again run as if resolved to die, body and soul to all eternity. Good counsel they by no means can abide, they'll have their course whatever them betide. Now these poor men have their especial guider, were they not fools they soon might know their rider. There's one makes head against all godliness, those two that do profess it he'll distress. He'll taunt and flout if goodness doth appear, and its countenances mock and jeer. Now this man too has his especial guider, and by his going he might know his rider. Okay, this poem is by John Bunyan. John Bunyan is a writer and he was a Puritan preacher. He's best known for his book The Pilgrim's Progress, which was a Christian allegory. Bunyan came from Bedfordshire, near Bedford, and he joined the parliamentary army during the English Civil War. Okay, so he took part in the English Civil War on the side of Oliver Cromwell, and after that he took up he became a tinker, which was the trade he'd learned from his father. A tinker is somebody who goes round mending things. So, Upon the Horse and His Rider, about horses and their riders. So this poem, the first part tells us about the different ways people ride their horses. And it's saying that you can tell the character of the rider by the way this person rides their horse. And then the Bunyan makes a metaphor out of this for how people live their lives, for the spirit that lives inside each person, And he likens this to the rider of a horse. So the spirit is like the rider of our body, or the person who decides what we do and how we live our lives. And he goes through various different ways of riding and various different characters and ways of living. So there's one rides very sagely on the road, showing that he affects the gravest mode. So sage means intelligently, and this shows that this person is very grave and serious, that they do what is right. Another rides tantivy, or full trot. So tantivy is an old-fashioned hunting term, meaning fast, at full tilt, as fast as they can go. To show much gravity, he matters not. So he doesn't like to be serious. Yeah, he just goes full speed at things in life. Lo, look, here comes one amain. So one who is irresponsible. He rides full speed, as fast as he can. Hedge, ditch, nor miry bog, he doth not heed. So he rides full speed, no matter if it's over a hedge, or through a ditch, or through a miry bog, through a really muddy place. That doesn't matter. One claws it uphill without stop or check. So another type of man rides the horse uphill full speed without stopping or without making it easy for the horse. Another down as if he'd break his neck. So another man may ride downhill incredibly fast, and you're frightened that this person's going to fall off and kill himself. Now every horse has his especial guider. So every person rides their horse in a different way to guide, to choose the direction. Then by his going may you know the rider. So like that you get to know the person who is riding, you get to know their character by the way they ride the horse. Now let us turn our horse into a man, his rider to a spirit, if we can. So now let's imagine that the horse is a person, and the rider of the horse is the spirit behind the person, what drives that person, the character, if you like. Then let us, by the methods of the guider, tell every horse how he should know his rider. So then, by the way people live their lives, by the methods of the guider, by the way the spirit guides us, now we can tell you how you can know the spirit and the character of the person who you see before you. Some go as men direct in a right way, nor are they suffered to go astray. So some men always do the right thing. They do things that are morally right, and they won't suffer. They can't bear to do the wrong thing. As with a bridle, they are governed. So the bridle is the thing that you put in the horse's mouth with the reins, and they are governed as like a horse with a bit in its mouth, and the rider is carefully guiding the horse where it should go, and kept from paths which lead unto the dead. Okay, and like this type of character, they make certain that they don't do things that will lead to the death of the soul, will lead to the death of the spirit, will lead to spiritual death. Now this good man has his especial guider. then by his going let him know his rider. So this is one way of guiding a life, and you can know the way this person guides his life, his spirit, his character, by the things that he does. Some go as if they did not greatly care whether heaven or hell should be their heir. So some people don't care where they go. They don't mind if they do good things or bad things. So the heir is a person who inherits something. So they don't care if they do good things or bad things. To them it's the same. They do what they want to do. The rein, the thing that you guide the horse with, it seems is laid upon their neck, so nobody pulls on the reins of the horse. They seem to go their way without a check. So this rider doesn't direct the person towards good things or towards bad things. They just let themselves do what they want. I think this is probably like a hedonist, not caring if this is right or wrong, it's good or bad. Now this man too has his especial guider, and by his going he may know his rider. So this is another way of living life and another type of character. And people who act like this, you can know their character. Some again run as if resolved to die, body and soul to all eternity. So some people go in a way that's crazy. They think that they're immortal. Yeah? They think they're not going to die, and their body and soul will go to eternity without them being conscious of what they're doing. Good counsel they by no means can abide. So they can't stand, they can't abide, they can't put up with good advice, good counsel. They'll have their own course, whatever them betide. They'll do what they want to do, no matter what happens to them, what this is going to lead them to. So I think here this die, I think maybe again this is a spiritual death. The body will die and the soul will die for all eternity. Now these poor men have their especial guider. Were they not fools, they soon might know their rider. So this is another way of guiding your life, another character. And if these people weren't foolish, they weren't idiots, they soon might know their rider. Notice how Bunyan repeats this again and again, and this is a very good poetic technique. Notice the whole poem, or the whole last part of the poem. This is a metaphor. Yeah, it's just one extended metaphor. There's one makes head against all godliness. So there's one who goes against everything that's good, everything that's moral. If something's right, he will do the opposite. Those two that do profess it, he'll distress. So he will also attack anybody who says they do good things or say that we should do good things. He'll distress them, he'll give them problems. He'll taunt and flout if goodness doth appear. So if something good appears, he will make a joke of it, he will mock it, and he will do something that's the absolute opposite to make a joke of it. And at its countenances mock and jeer. So the people that notice this good and think that it's wonderful, he will mock them, nah, 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 and he'll jeer, boo. Now this man too has his especial guider, and by his going he may know his rider. And this is another character, and like that you can know the person, the character of this person. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Upon the Horse and His Rider by John Bunyan.